Welcome back. This is video 2 of 4 in Module 3, Alcohol Education. In video 1, we covered the full history of alcohol and the human side of why people drink. In this video, we move into the science. We are going to look at what alcohol actually does inside your body and brain, why the way you feel is not a reliable measure of impairment, and exactly what DOT's specific thresholds mean, what they require, and why they exist. This is the foundation for everything that follows in this module. Let's get into it. When you take a drink, alcohol ignores the normal digestive process. Instead of waiting to be broken down like food, it passes almost immediately through the walls of the stomach and small intestine, directly into your bloodstream. Alcohol acts as a central nervous system depressant. It physically slows down the communication between neurons, the cells carrying the signals that govern your reflexes and your thoughts. This delayed neural communication degrades multiple critical systems simultaneously. Your reaction time lengthens, the fine motor coordination required to operate complex controls loses its precision. Your judgment in assessing risk becomes impaired, and your ability to sustain attention begins to break down. These changes happen at very low blood alcohol levels. Your brain operates below its full capacity before you feel any physical effects at all. This creates a dangerous gap between perception and reality. Relying on feeling fine is a thoroughly unreliable metric for evaluating your own readiness to work. Alcohol actively impairs the exact neurological systems you would use to evaluate your own impairment. Your judgment about your own judgment is compromised. People consistently overestimate their performance after drinking. They feel highly capable and completely normal, while their actual reaction times and coordination show measurable decline. This flawed self-assessment is a biological symptom of alcohol consumption, not a sign of dishonesty or a character flaw. It is exactly why safety regulations demand objective measurement instead of subjective feelings. Alcohol yields varying blood concentrations based on body weight, metabolism, food, and medications. But while absorption is highly variable, clearance is entirely predictable. The human liver processes alcohol at a fixed rate of 1 standard drink per hour. Absolutely nothing accelerates this process. Caffeine, water, sleep, exercise, or cold showers might mask fatigue, but they don't metabolize alcohol faster. Time is the only variable that clears your system. The biological math runs at its own pace, regardless of how rested you feel. Because individual absorption variables are unpredictable and the liver's clearance rate is unchangeable, relying on personal formulas, like assuming you're safe after 2 drinks, presents a severe safety risk. A major pathway to unintentional violations comes from binge drinking, defined as reaching a 0.08 blood alcohol concentration, roughly 5 drinks in 2 hours. This descending chart maps the severe clearance math of a heavy evening. A peak concentration between 0.15 and 0.20 requires 10 to 12 solid hours just to return to an absolute zero baseline, long after the drinking stops. Compounding this timeline is the effect on sleep. Alcohol disrupts the deep, restorative REM sleep architecture. You might sleep for 8 hours, but your brain wakes up cognitively slower and completely unrested. This creates a trap of double impairment. You operate under the neurological drag of residual alcohol, combined with the deficits of poor sleep. This invisible mathematical overlap is exactly how well-intentioned employees trigger unintentional DOT violations. They slept, they didn't drink before their shift, but the math simply had not cleared. To catch these overlapping risks, DOT relies on immediate measurement. Urine tests measure historical drug metabolites and require a physician's review. Breath testing, conversely, measures real-time blood alcohol concentration to answer whether alcohol is affecting a person right now. While the standard legal driving limit is 0.08, DOT enforces vastly stricter requirements. The 0.02 threshold acts as a precautionary hold, requiring immediate removal from duties until clear. At 0.04, unambiguous degradation in reaction and coordination constitutes a formal DOT alcohol violation. The consequences at this level are immediate. The employee is removed from safety-sensitive duties, enters a prohibited status, and must complete a full SAP and return to duty process. Because human feeling is an illusion, these strict numerical thresholds represent objective truth about capability. The DOT limits set at a fraction of normal traffic laws due to the immense scale of responsibility and the vastly smaller margin for error involved in the work. Unlike a private driver on a public road, commercial operators control vehicles carrying hundreds of passengers and manage critical regional infrastructure. In these roles, single mistakes are irreversible. These lower thresholds are a direct reflection of biological science and the level of protection the public deserves. In this video, we covered how alcohol enters the bloodstream and what it physically does to the brain and body, why feeling fine is not a reliable measure of impairment, and how binge drinking creates a clearance problem that sleep alone does not solve. We also reviewed exactly what DOT's 0.02 and 0.04 thresholds mean, what they require, and why they sit lower than the standard legal driving limit of 0.08. In video 3, we shift to how alcohol misuse develops over time, the gradual, invisible process by which casual use becomes dependency, what the escalation patterns look like, and why catching them early changes everything. Take what you learned here into the next video. We will see you there. Recognizing alcohol's invisible biology is the essential first step to maintaining a truly safe career.